Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are together again. This is Taylor Hall's debate for the 2021-2022 academic year. I know we are in a virtual space, and so the energy that we would have had over the years, it's kind of, it is different now, but nevertheless, let's keep the same energy. I'm asking candidates to please mute your camera, mute your mic, turn off your camera. I'm going to read the rules for the debate. Persons, I'm asking you to be respectful on the YouTube chat, and we are ready to have some fun. It's been a while since we have been together, so let's make the best of it tonight. So each candidate is given 4 minutes to present and 2 minutes to facilitate questions. There's a 30 seconds grace period of when the time ends, they can speak over that, well, a 30 seconds grace period, right? The order that we will go in, we will start with, I hope Nardia is ready. All right, let's start from the top to the bottom. So you have Torian Ellis, who is going for the position of who is the secretary-elect for the 2021-2022 academic year. Tanisha Ellis, the public relations officer. Jayan Dunbar, who is the external affairs chairperson. There is Leonardo Lindsay, who is the cultural entertainment affairs chairperson. Delano Mullins, treasurer. And treasurer is the exciting thing for tonight, guys, because we have Delano Mullins from Stallion and DeAndre Horton going up for treasurer. So this should be a very interesting night. And there is Ashley Smith for assistant treasurer and Nordia Thompson for domestic affairs representative. All right, so we are ready to begin. And tonight I'm going to start with the assistant treasurer, who is Ashley Smith. Ashley, are you ready?
I am indeed ready.
Great. I'm seeing you clearly and your mic is on.
Great, good stuff.
All
Okay.
right.
Good day, my fellow Taylorites. My name is Ashley Smith. I am currently studying for psychology, and I am going into my second year. It is indeed a pleasure to be a part of this hall. And even though my position is uncontested, I do believe I am the right candidate for the job. I pledge to be the best assistant treasurer that this committee has ever encountered. Why Ashley for this position, you may ask? Well, I will go above and beyond my duties stated in the Constitution, using my initiative to lend a hand to others, to other members in need of my assistance. I mean, it is a part of my job to assist, right? I will work alongside the treasurer, pushing, motivating, and helping as much as possible. In accordance with what the treasurer has planned, I would also like to propose an implementation of sessions informing persons on how properly to budget, especially for those persons living on dorm. I am constantly in dialogue with a financial lawyer and do believe she has what it takes to give you the right advice. I am confident in my abilities to lead, and my hard work throughout this academic year, the academic year to come, will show such abilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley, and thank you for staying in the time span. Viewers, listeners, please type your questions for Ashley in the chat. We may have to come back with the questions to you, Ashley, but thank you so much for that lovely presentation. You can go ahead and turn off your mic and turn off your camera. When I have a question for you, I will address you and you can turn on your camera and answer the question. Thank you so much. All right, so we move to the next candidate who is vying for the position, or who is the Domestic Affairs Chairperson-elect, and that is Nordia Thompson. Nordia, are you ready? All right, if Nordia is not ready, we will move on to Torian Ellis. Torian Ellis is the Secretary-elect for the 2021-2022 academic year. Torian Ellis, are you ready? Not hearing Torian.
I'm ready.
You're ready? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you and I'm hearing you. You can go ahead.
Okay. My fellow Taylorites, before you tonight is one who desires to see the Blue Empire continue to shine bright. Since I first came on Hall, I've been serving you, from being a part of the PCC committee to the chorale and even a member of the EAC family. There have been many times where I placed self and fears aside and went out to represent my empire. I was never an athletic individual, however, I made sure to participate in ring road activities as well as other sports activities. I plan to continue leading by example and serve for a brighter tomorrow. So despite the challenges we might be experiencing at this time, my aim is to make the Hall proud by being a true leader and owning up to my responsibilities. Taylor Hall is my birthplace. Therefore, I believe it is my duty to maintain the standards and principle of the Hall, and I intend on doing so by adequately executing my 7-point plans. As secretary, I will conduct an email etiquette seminar. This will take into account the ways how to create an email signature. Now, as university students, our aim is to make ourselves marketable and not just to gain a degree. So therefore, having a good email presence is a step in ensuring that we are branding ourselves well. Additionally, I intend on continuing the resume fixing seminar. However, there will be tips provided to attendees on interview etiquette. So while resume is supposed to capture the interviewer's attention, it is also important that interviewees sell themselves in the best way possible when in the interview room. I will also create a calendar of events for each semester, and this will outline the activities that each executive plans to do throughout the academic year. Correspondingly, a monthly evaluation of committee members will be conducted in order to hold each member accountable as it relates to their responsibilities. Attendance will also be kept of committee members, and suggestions as well as resolutions made at each meeting will be recorded. Lastly, minutes from the previous meeting will be provided to each member before the next gathering. So put Tori to the test and reap the results. I am here and ready to serve you as your next secretary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Torian Ellis, for your presentation. And Ashley, I'm coming back to you with your question. I hope you're hearing me, Ashley. So the question for you in the meantime is, what innovative plans do you bring to the portfolio? I repeat, what innovative plans do you bring to the portfolio?
Okay, so as stated before, I plan on doing this budgeting seminar, which I think would be very beneficial to a lot of persons, a part of the Taylor Hall, especially seeing that, you know, they're living on dorm, and most times it's really hard to keep track of the money that you actually spend. So yes, that's what I would do so far. That's what I have planned on doing, seeing that everything is online now. It's really hard to put physical stuff into consideration.
Okay, thank you so much for that question, to Ashley.
Thank you for the question as well.
You're most welcome. All right, you can turn off your camera. I do not see a question or any questions for Torian as yet, so we will move on to our next candidate. We are saving the excitement for last, guys. All right, we're saving the battle for the last. All right, so we will now move on to the next candidate. And the next candidate is our PRO for the academic year. And her name is Miss Tanisha Ellis. Tanisha, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good, good. I'm seeing you and I'm hearing you. You can go ahead. Clearly, yes.
Good evening, Taylorite. I am your candidate elected to serve as the Taylor Hall Public Relations Officer for the 2021-2022 academic year. I'm a second-year integrated marketing communication student who is committed to getting the job done. I won't say the fancy quote because the bulk of this information is just to put across my manifesto points so it could resonate with you or Taylorites. During my tenure, I have a 3-point plan, guided by the acronym PRO: productivity, rejuvenation, optimization. Productivity, which is my main goal, will be executed through rejuvenation and optimization. Those before me have done tremendous jobs, and I only plan on improving on what they have done with my creative and innovative ideas. I'd like to have a monthly newsletter email in conjunction with our secretary. I propose we have a Taylor email that is used to promote or provide up-to-date information on all events through the bi-monthly newsletters. The PRO is directly responsible for promoting the hall to the external community and the university community. And I plan on, with special emphasis placed on Founders Week. And I plan on making the best use possible for all our social media platforms. Rejuvenation. I want to bring back Talk of Taylor. I want to revamp Talk of Taylor in such a way that it is more than just a current affairs talk show, of course, in collaboration with EAC. It will be where interesting and intriguing topics will be discussed, featuring successful Taylorites talking about how life before COVID. How will these topics be selected? It will be selected by your Taylorites through a series of posts on our IG stories. And of course, the option with the most vote will be the topic for discussion for that session. Secondly, on the rejuvenation, I want to bring back the Did You Know, the Taylor edition that was started by former PRO Jayan Dunbar McFarlane. I want to tailor it in such a way that represents everything Taylor, the history, successful Taylorites, all of it, all of what the history of the Blue Empire entails. Lastly, optimization. I want to utilize our Instagram page in such a way to help our young entrepreneurs. I did it previously for a blog and it worked perfectly fine. It is free advertising opportunity for Taylorites. People think that PRO is just about public image and graphic designing. It's more than just that. I'll use this portfolio to garner internship and scholarship opportunities for you, our Taylorites, to benefit from, both on and off campus. And lastly, working closely with our PROs to ensure that every Taylor event is promoted as efficiently as possible. And we know that a manifesto is never completed. And being the innovative and creative leader that I am, while I'm in this position, I'll utilize every opportunity to ensure that I use this portfolio, any opportunity that can advance this portfolio at its best to build brand Taylor. Again, I'm Tanisha Ellis, your Public Relations Officer elected for the 2021-2022 academic year, and I'm fired up and ready to serve.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ellis, for your presentation. I do not have any questions for you, but if we do, I will come back to you later on. We will now move on to the next candidate. And our next candidate is Jayan Dunbar, and he is the External Affairs Chairperson. Jayan?
Good night, everyone. You guys see?
I'm not seeing you as yet. Probably give it a couple seconds. I'm hearing you. Yes, I'm seeing you now. See you now. Okay.
All right, just tell me when to start.
All right, I think you're breaking up a bit, so introduce yourself. Let me see how the quality and the audio is.
Okay, my name is Jayan Dunbar. I'm a second year econ major at the University of the West Indies. You hear me? That's okay?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. All right, I think you can.
All right, so okay, all right. So greeting members of the prestigious Blue Empire. Now I have to say it is both indeed an honor and an absolute privilege to be given this opportunity to vie for the post as External Affairs Chairperson for the Hall of Halls. Now, I know that we're all busy persons and we have a lot on our hands. So let's just get into the real matter as to why I'm here. Now, I am not here to talk about what I'm going to do, because if we are going to really be honest with everything that is going on, for this post, the responsibility does not lie on myself alone, even though I'm going for the post. This position concerns us all, and as a result, teamwork will need to be the focal point on which this position needs to be built on. Now, major emphasis has been placed on the aspects such as health and wellness of both the body and the mind. While these are vital components to tackle, they are only a fraction of the social ordeals that are plaguing our beloved society, as it is multifaceted. Now, I have to dissect the components of the society, and I've come across a common and notably a major problem: male psyche. It is evident that the way our male thinks is one of the main contributors towards social instability. Now, realizing this, one of the initiatives that I'll be putting forward to reboot the way of the mind of males will be achieved through the classic Man Remodel campaign. Now, within this campaign, it will be initiated due to the constant cases of males falling into the predatory dilemma of wreaking havoc in today's society. Measures need to be taken to remind males of what it feels like to be fully respected by females and the wider society instead of being feared. Now, 3 initiatives under this campaign will be domestic violence or weak man meds. Now, this campaign serves to address the fact that for a man to beat on a woman only proves that he is insecure of himself. A man is doing this only to show signs of weakness, lack of power and control, or even because they are tremendously dependent on the woman and are threatened on any move towards independence. Now, key individuals within the field of psychology will be invited to impart the professional knowledge as well as advice on how not to play a part in domestic violence. Now, another initiative will be crime kills internally. I didn't even know that. Now, this feature is to address the issues of crime being rampant in today's society, taking the form of mainly of murder, theft, and corruption. A life of this nature offers nothing but misery and sleepless night, as they'll have to be either on the run or on the lookout. Now, I don't know about anybody, but I love to sleep. Also, it is to note that it robs one of a general and normal life, as criminal transforms one personality and image, which allows them to be easily detected and preyed upon by law enforcers. Now, persons who have turned their lives around from crime and for the better will be invited to share their story and what led them to go for the change. Another initiative under this campaign is romance only dead if you want it to. Now, we're all big people here, and I have to admit, in some, not all cases, but some cases, relationship fails because of the negligence of males taking the time to understand their partners, which serve as one of the main reasons relationship does not last very long. Now, having a healthy relationship plays a pivotal role in the well-being and happiness of individuals, and even go as far as to relieve stress in persons with a significant other in their life, Now, popular and successful couples who are looked upon in high regards will be invited to share their relationship story, offering insights to individuals on the different measures that can be taken to preserve one's relationship. Now, another campaign under my portfolio would be school lock, but we're outside. Now, with the constraint presented by the pandemic, movements have to be restricted, as well as closure of school taking effect. We refuse to let this deter us from making moves. Now, under this campaign, you'll have the interim mode, where within this initiative, a bridge will be formed between high school and university, where we'll meet final 6-year students halfway in assisting them in the preparation for the next phase in life. Now, they will be armed with knowledge that will be provided to be of tremendous benefit to their transition, allowing it to be easier than normal than what was experienced by students who have already enrolled in the institution. Now, another initiative under this campaign is the inter-college link-up. Now, with all that is happening mainly due to the pandemic, it is imperative that an initiative that is set in place where we interact with colleges and universities, where collaborations can be made, which allows us, different institutions, to meet and share in discussion pertaining to pressing matters in today's society. We will also carry out various sessions that will be aimed at to rewind and enjoy each other company in a friendly space. And this project will most certainly aim at promoting mutual understanding and unity among the different tertiary institutions. Now, another campaign under my portfolio will be the financial literacy seminar. Now, the topic of money has not been taught in the school, and as such,
you have a 30 minutes grace period.
All right, no problem, no problem. All right, so to see the change, we have to dare to be the change. We need to take a stand together as one cohesive unit to push these initiatives beyond the scope of just being plans on paper. Now, I've been ready for a long time, waiting for the right opportunity to execute my plans for holistic development. And I'm very fortunate to be given a compassionate, devoted, and dedicated blue-blooded group to combat the societal issues we currently face. Now, let us therefore move together as the Blue Empire, lead the charge towards a better future for the Jamaican society, making it prosperous for this generation and other generations to come. I thank you.
Thank you so much for your extensive presentation, Jayan. When I have your question, I will, of course, come back to you. I'm going back to Tanisha Ellis, and there's a question for you. How will you garner these scholarships and internships you speak of? Let me repeat the question. How will you garner these scholarships and internships you speak of?
Okay, thank you. The thing is, these scholarship and opportunities, they're everywhere. I won't be the one to invent it because they're everywhere. So what happened is that a lot of Taylorites, university students, don't know where exactly to go and find these scholarship and internship opportunities. To gather those scholarship opportunities in one place where Taylorites can access it, where it can be available to them.
I'm sorry, Tanisha, you were breaking up a bit. Could you repeat the last part of your answer? I think Tanisha is having a little bit of technical difficulty. And so let's move on to Jayan Dunbar's question. Do you have any plans to improve any of the Hall EAC flagship projects? That's the first question for you, Jayan. Let me repeat the question. Do you have any plans to improve on any of the Hall EAC flagship projects?
All right, you guys hearing me?
Hearing and seeing, yes.
Okay. All right. As it relates to the flagship projects, you have another name that you refer to as the flagship projects?
They won't be able to type it in the chat.
Because so I don't want to give a plan and it's not for it, you know.
So the mentorship program that we have, right. Those programs, flagship programs or main programs.
Okay, like the blood drive and
yeah.
Okay. All right. So as it regards to those, they'll still be the same on the virtual platform, because I doubt for a fact that this coming September that everything will be and can be done in a face-to-face interaction. So everything will be done on the virtual platform, just like how it has been done in previous years under the leadership of the other EAC dignitaries. As it relates to all outreach projects, I actually had some in my portfolio, but I didn't get to share them. So I'm actually planning on these now will have to take place physically, because these are required to to promote environmental awareness and all of that. So we'll actually visit communities to provide assistance with cleaning up and distribution of sanitary sanitary items that, and actually other items that will help to combat the fight against COVID-19.
Jayan, I'm not sure if you are hearing me, but we are unable to hear you. All right, so Jayan is having technical difficulty, everyone.
Little things that they can actually use to actually keep their...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
You were frozen for about 7 seconds. So I'm asking you so kindly to repeat your answer. Yes, you were referring to the projects, the outreach projects that you planned to execute.
All right, so I outlined the community enhancement one. There's another one that is called All Away One campaign, where assistance will be given in the form of care packages provided to individuals to help restrict the spread of the virus, as well as reiterating the importance of adhering to the protocols against the COVID-19 pandemic. And there's also another one called the shut-in assistance, where within this project, support will be given to individuals in shut-in through the forms of donations, as well as emotional, physical, and economic assistance. Now, donations such as art supplies, books, and toys will be provided to children with the aim to keep them engaging their minds with different activities. Because you know, with the closure of schools, you have students who are idle, they're being idle, they're not really engaging their minds in anything that constructive because of the whole drawback with the internet connection problem and all of that. So we need to keep their minds engaged and active. So these donations will be given to them. Packages will also be given to individuals in the shut-in to help maintain their health and well-being also.
Thank you so much, Jayan. And I have one final question for you. What are your plans for Taylor Hall Mentorship? What are your plans for Taylor Hall Mentorship?
All right, with the mentorship program now. Now, I was actually thinking really hard and long about this one because the students are so used to being on the campus and engaging in activities. Now, with this, I realized that last academic year, care packages were given to the mentees. And this year, I'd also want the same thing to take place, but I'd also want to meet with them also because everything is going virtually as well. So even though they are small, if they're even in school, primary school right now, they have to be on the virtual platform. So I'd have to take this initiative as well, meet them on the virtual platform, engage with them, see how they're doing, check up on them and try to be there for them in every way that we can on the virtual platform. And if as time progresses, we can actually allow them to meet with us, is even for once per month, that would actually be great. But as I said, the plan is actually to be on the virtual platform with the aim of even for once per month, we can actually meet with them just to see how they're doing, because communication is effective mostly in person rather than on the virtual platform. So we want to see them physically and actually look at them and read all their body language, see what they have to say, hear what they have to say. And because you can actually say anything over the internet, you can actually say you're okay over the internet and you're not actually okay. So with looking at them, we can actually see whether or not they are indeed okay. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Jayan, and that was your final question. Now we are a bit close to the exciting part, but we have Nordia Thompson, who is the domestic representative elect, and she will now present.
Good night, everyone. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing, I'm seeing you. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So good night, my fellow Taylorites. I'm Nordia Thompson, your incoming domestic representative for the academic year 2021-2022. I am a psychology major and I'm also pursuing a minor in management studies. One of my mantras is, if you're not able to do it to the best of your ability, do it none at all. And this is exactly the mind frame that I'm bringing into this portfolio. Tonight, I'll be highlighting 5 main points from my manifesto, which includes initiatives that I'll be taking part in and carrying out during my tenure. My first initiative is the Taylor Hall Beautification Project. This will be carried out bi-monthly on the last Sunday of each of these months. Taylorites and also persons on Hall will come together and participate in beautification projects such as gardening while adhering to COVID protocols, of course. Also, we have the InBeat program, which I plan to execute, which was originally designed by our outgoing domestic representative, Anessa Spence, to provide food and refreshment to students on Hall during both mid-semesters and finals. We know that during our exam periods, these are extremely taxing times for our students, and this will help to alleviate stress. I will also be collaborating with the sports representative to have Taylor-all health tips. Due to the pandemic, we know that many of our Taylorites have acquired unhealthy habits. With the collaboration with the sports representative, posts will be made bi-weekly on our Taylor Hall page to remind our Taylorites of detrimental health habits that they do and things they can also do to avoid them. This will be a continuation of health tips that are already being posted by our outgoing sports representatives. Fourth, I plan to have a Taylor Hall virtual cook-off. This is an initiative that I started as the domestic representative for the Republic of Excellencia, and I plan to expand this to the Hall. There will be a total of 2 competitions, one for each semester, where I plan to include all 7 blocks, and they will be given the opportunity to submit 2 dishes, and the block with the best dish would win this competition. Judges will be taken from all 7 blocks to have equity for these competitions. I also plan to collaborate with domestic representatives for each of these blocks to have a committee formed to help with the smooth running of all these initiatives. I look forward to working with all my fellow committee members and also to serving my fellow Taylorites. Thank you so much. Have a good night and stay safe, everyone.
Thank you so much, Nordia, for your presentation. Jayan, I have to come back to you because there is a question for you. So Jayan, the question is, do you have any plans to work with the Guild EAC? 2 questions actually, Jayan. Are you hearing me? Okay, good.
Yes, I'm hearing you. You're seeing me, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. So I indeed have plans as it relates to collaboration with the Guild EAC. Mainly with the initiatives that I actually want to reach on a wider scale, because the Guild has connections wider than actually Taylor Hall. So initiatives such as the crime kills internally, they even know that I would want that to reach on a wider platform than Taylor, that can actually be achieved on Taylor. And also I know that they have a similar initiative as it relates to assisting 6th form students. So the interim mode will actually, there's actually going to be a collaboration with the Guild as well. And also with promoting holistic development within communities, visiting communities and assisting members within the community, taking care of the community as it relates to cleaning up and all of that, sanitizing. I would actually going to do that with collaboration with the Guild EAC also. So yeah.
All right, Jayan, thank you so much. And there's one other question for you. Do you have any experience in this or any similar post? I repeat, do you have any experience in this or any similar post?
All right. As it relates to Taylor Hall, I actually am a part of an organization called RISE that we actually mentor grade 11 students of the Mona High School in assisting them towards CXC examinations. And as it relates to my own initiatives, I actually implement initiatives within my community in St. Anne, and while I was actually in Clarendon as well, being a part of the Butner Concerned Citizens Benevolent Society, sorry, and in St. Anne, being a part of the Lawrence Park Community Development Group, where we actually implement initiatives that are geared towards the development of the community. Within the community that I'm in, Lawrence Park, there was the improvement of infrastructure that we lobbied with the SDC, Social Development Commission, and we actually we created plans as it relates to developing the water infrastructure in the community. It is better now. As it relates to the road also, we actually implement plan, we push it forward, and we actually have better roads now. And within the Butner Concern group, while I was in Clarendon attending the Glenmere High School, I was actually part of that group where we actually keep summer schools for the students within the community and offering them teaching in a range of subjects. Also, what else? Also, it's been a while, so oh yes, there were some persons within the community that have their birth paper. They don't have any birth paper, or some of them got mixed up. There was some problem as it relates to their birth paper. So we actually perform a collaboration with the RGD and actually provided these persons with birth paper, both within that group as well as the one down here, because I realized that both communities had the same problem. So it was done for within both of the groups that I was in.
Alrighty.
So yeah. So even though I wasn't,
Thank you so much, everyone. We are pressed for time, but I'm sure that on your social media platform and otherwise you will engage students in the rest of your for the rest of your plans.
Yeah.
Right.
If there's any other question, they can feel free to contact me on IG. That's Jayan Dunbar. So yeah, any other questions, just hit me up.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, everyone. We now move on to, you can go ahead and mute your mic and you pause your video. Thank you. Okay, so now we are at the exciting part, which I think everyone is awaiting. And so let me introduce again the candidates who are going for the position of treasurer for the academic year 2021-2022. All right, so we have DeAndre Horton and we have Delano Mullins. So we will start with DeAndre Horton. DeAndre, I hope you're hearing and is ready. Mr. Horton?
I'm here.
All right. I am hearing you. I'm not seeing you.
Yeah, I'm going to turn on my mic. Turn on. All right. You're still not seeing me?
Not as yet. Give it a couple seconds.
I'm turning it off and...
All right, everyone. In the meantime, you can remember, post your questions in the chat. And after each candidate speaks, I will go back and ask their question.
You see me now?
I am not seeing you as yet, DeAndre. I'm seeing a black screen.
Okay.
All right. Yes, sir. I am seeing you perfectly. All right. You can go right ahead.
All right, so before I get started, I just want to thank each and every one. I want to see everybody that went so far, they had great points and we share similarities. So let's begin. Greetings and salutations to everyone on the live and everybody that's planning to watch the recording. Sitting before you is a young man who goes by the name Pablo. Others call me TJ, or some just call me Horton. You can call me the professor, but I am DeAndre Horton, vying for the position for your treasurer for the Hall of Halls, Taylor Hall. So I have prepared 5 sustainable goals that I know Taylor Hall will benefit from. I want to ensure that each Taylorite has the technical skills of their finances, not only that, but feeding their brain with these skills that they will garner. So this leads into my first point. And I know that Jayan mentioned it, but I want to delve into it and shed some light on it myself. So this is about financial literacy. So every Taylorite should be financially literate. I know it might sound hard, but everyone should have the ability to figure out which financial decisions are the most likely to lead them in achieving their financial goals and having the ability to act on the knowledge that they will garner. So just having the basic understanding of their financial living, understanding debt, saving, understanding budgeting, money in, money out. I know that somebody mentioned it. So I want for us as executives to work together and partner on these initiatives. So some might say I don't do business, or I'm not a business student, so I don't need to have the level of financial literacy somebody in that aspect might have. But let's say you start in a business, you probably hire an accountant, and if you don't have the basic knowledge, they can rob you. So going into my second goal, mentioning business right now. So the other goal is Taylorite opportunity. So in Taylorite opportunity, we will provide opportunity for Taylorites on hall and on campus to showcase their business venture, or if they are creatives such as artists or content creator, we will showcase their content or music on the Taylor page. This will bring, new followers or new persons to the page, and from our page, they will reach a wider amount of persons. I spoke to one person living on Taylor Hall who has a business venture, and I asked him how is the business, and he said that the business is going good, but if he could have reached a wider range of persons, it would be fantastic. So this tailored opportunity will provide avenue for that person and for others to reach a wider range of persons. So going into my third point, we know that Taylorite has 2 publications, the Taylor Hall Rising Star, and we know the Freshers Guide. So my third sustainable goal is sponsorship. So we can seek or reach out to a wide range of sponsors, and these sponsors can advertise in our publications. So that will provide them a wider range of persons, and for us to be incentivized from their advertisement in our publications, right? So winding down to my penultimate goal, and that is the Taylor Hall apparel, as you see here. So I'm planning to establish an online or virtual space for persons, incoming students, current students, and alumni, local and a part of the diaspora, to purchase or browse through Taylor Hall apparels, because a lot of the persons, or a lot of the alumni rather, they don't have, some of these apparels that they would, like to have. They are part of Taylor Hall, they're part of UE, they want something to show for it. Not only them, persons living on the hall as well, commuters, have a sweater, have a shirt, and not only, providing or getting shirts or sweaters made for them, but they can also bring in their sweater or their shirts to be printed on to get the Taylor Hall emblem and so forth if they don't, want a brand new shirt. So we have a wide range of options for everybody. And finally, my last goal is the White Pelican campaign. The name is subject to change, but in essence, the idea for this campaign is for a month long of selling, right? So we sell the different apparels, we sell the different items to persons online, to persons around the campus, and the funds that we receive from that will go towards the development of the hall. Not just persons on the hall, but the hall, so including commuters as well. So those are my 5 Taylor Hall sustainable goals, goals that not only for the current, for the tenure, but it should last throughout. It should build a foundation for upcoming executives as well. So that's why it's sustainable. So in keeping with the constitution of Taylor Hall Section B, subsection IV, I, DeAndre Horton, understands and appreciate every single rules and responsibilities that is bestowed to the treasurer for the hall. So if I am bestowed the opportunity to be your treasurer, I promise to you that it will be a beneficial one. I thank you, and if anybody has any questions further on the goals, you can feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Horton. I have no questions for you as yet, but I'm sure that I will get back to you. And remember, for our viewers out there, please remember to subscribe to our Taylor Hall channel. You can click the button right down below. We need more subscribers, guys, so please do so. Thank you, Mr. Horton. You can turn off your camera and your mute mic. In the meantime, we will get back to you. We will now move on to our next candidate, that is Delano Mullins, who is also vying for the position of treasurer. Mr. Mullins?
Yeah, hello, good night. You hearing me?
Yes, I am. I'm not seeing you, but I'm hearing you.
All right, just give me a minute, please.
All right, so while we wait, I'm sure that you have been listening to the other candidates, and I'm sure that you must have questions that you want to pose to them. So please feel free to type your questions in the chat. Remember to subscribe and share to everyone our Taylor Hall YouTube channel. We need to get our subscribers up, everyone. And this is the heated debate, guys. So we have to come with some questions for both DeAndre and Delano Mullins. I need to feel the Taylor Hall vibe and the spirit that we have had over the years. We cannot let the pandemic hold us up. We need to get that energy going. So guys, remember, send your questions in the chat. Sure that you have other questions for the other candidates as well. Mr. Mullins, are you okay?
Yeah, hello. See me now?
Yes, I am. You can
okay,
go
good.
ahead.
Okay. To the SSDM, the returning officer, hall chair and deputy hall chair, elected committee members, outgoing committee members, the candidate present, Taylorites, viewers, and well-wishers. Good night to you all. My name is Delano Mullins, and I am your candidate for hall treasurer for the academic year 2021-2022. Now, who am I? I am a leader, self-motivated, a young man of honor, vision, and purpose to make an impact. A leader trustworthy, determined, and dedicated to the task of serving my fellow Taylorite community. These characteristics, along with my passion for growth and improvement, will make me the better choice for your hall treasurer. It is without a doubt that due to the extent of this pandemic, it has limited many activities. But as Einstein once said, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. And that is my aim, to make meaningful opportunities available to us Taylorites. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. And so tonight, I will be highlighting my manifesto points. Conceptualizing these points was never a rushed process, as it is imperative that these points not only sound good to the ears, but that they are feasible and beneficial to us Taylorites. Proper investment of consciousness was made in finding solutions into areas where improvements could be made, and now we have the blueprint, multiplying with Mullins to gain our returns on investment. What are these plans that I come here tonight to present to you? You may be asking. And so, without further hesitation, I will dive directly into them. If I am elected your hall treasurer for the academic year 2021-2022, I will be implementing the TCAP initiative. And this is the Taylor Rights Credit Assistance Program. Now, on March 1st, 2021, the university sent out a notice indicating that all face-to-face classes were suspended. And this would basically mean that 100% of the Taylor Right population is now fully online. And so this initiative was conceptualized with the Taylor Rights in mind. Now this program will be run through the 2 semesters, first and second semester, during the examination periods, where our Taylor Rights will be able to apply for credit assistance to aid in data plans, and our Taylor Rights will be assisted. Now moving on to my second initiative, this is the TFEP, and this is Taylor Rights Financial Education Program. Now, as Benjamin Franklin once said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And so as we seek to multiply with Mullins, it is imperative and very important that this initiative is implemented. Now, this initiative has the potential to be beneficial to each and every single Taylorite. And this program will feature a number of seminars where Taylorites will be able to gain knowledge on financial management. And now on to my third and final point, our initiative, the TED. This is the Taylorites Entrepreneurship Day. And this day will be implemented during the second semester of the academic year. Now, this initiative is geared to target our hardworking entrepreneurs. And so on this day, our Taylorite entrepreneurs would be able to have their businesses posted onto the Taylor Hall's Instagram page, working alongside with the elected PRO, of course. And this would serve 2 main purposes. 1, encouragement, encouraging our hardworking entrepreneurs to continue to invest both time and money into their businesses. And 2, serving as a means of advertisement for them. And so in conclusion, I, Delano Mullins, will stand strong by these manifesto points, the pillars of impact, points that are feasible and will be beneficial to the Taylorite community if I am given the opportunity by you to serve you. And so I implore you all, on May 21st, vote Delano Mullins for your hall treasurer. Let us multiply with Mullins and gather our returns on investment, moving forward, standing strong with a man of plans. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mullins, for your presentation. So we have a question for Mr. Horton, and then we will ask both candidates to ask each other a question. So let me start with Mr. Horton's question first, and then I'll ask you, Delano, to ask Mr. Horton a question, and likewise, Mr. Horton, you to Mr. Mullins. All right, Mr. Horton, your question is, in these unprecedented times, companies and organizations are hesitant to sponsor activities. So how will you ensure to secure sponsors? Let me repeat that for you. In these unprecedented times, companies and organizations are hesitant to sponsor activities. So how will you ensure to secure sponsors?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Now, when companies sponsor events or sponsor different initiatives, most of the time they want to see what they will get out of it, or how sponsoring this event might benefit them, or how they can be incentivized as well for sponsoring an event. So the first thing to do, or the first approach that we can, show them, is that we can provide an avenue of reaching out to the entire hall, the entire UE, because persons in Taylor Hall, they are part of UE Stat, like myself. You have persons are part of the guild, Mr. Chairman. You have persons in here are part of clubs and societies. So we have endless persons at our disposal to showcase to them that, hey, you sponsor an event, everyone will see, you sponsor an event, and that brings more potential customers to your company, as well as we can target alumni from Taylor Hall. You know, every alumni of Taylor Hall, they are proud to be Taylorites. You know, some are politicians, some are businessmen. They are proud to be Taylorites. So we can reach out to them as well to secure sponsorship for any event that we have upcoming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Horton. All right, so before I mentioned that I want each candidate to ask each other a question. All right, so seeing that you're here, Mr. Horton, you can pose your question that you want to ask Mr. Mullins. You can go ahead.
All right. All right. Mr. Mullins, if you're given the opportunity to become the treasurer for the academic year, what guarantee do you give to each of us, the entire hall, that you are the right person for the job?
Can you repeat the question so that he hears clearly and understands fully what you're asking? Thank you.
All right, let me ask again. Mr. Mullins, all right, if you're given the opportunity to be the treasurer for the upcoming year, what guarantee do you have that you will be the best person for this job, as well as how do you plan to tackle your initiatives in these unprecedented times?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question, Mr. Horton. So as outlined in my entire speech was based on my initiatives. And first, just let me elaborate quickly. So the TCAP initiative, this will be funded by Red Stripe, the Desnos and Geddes Foundation. I have already started to seek sponsorship from Mr. Dennis Beckford, who is the accounting manager for Red Stripe. So that will be where I would be funding that initiative from. The financial education program, I have already reached out to quite a number of presses, so that will be easily implemented. And the Taylor Rights Entrepreneurship Day, I have already spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs, because in conceptualizing these initiatives, it would be myself in constant contact with the Taylor Rights. And just also to say that I'm very experienced in this position of being treasurer, as I was a block treasurer for the academic year 2020-2021. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for your answer, Mr. Mullins. So before I proceed, I'm going to ask you the same question that was posed to Mr. Horton, Mr. Mullins. Let me repeat the question. In these unprecedented times, companies and organizations are hesitant to sponsor activities. So how will you ensure to secure sponsorships?
All right, so I have already secured a sponsorship, as mentioned, from the Desnos and Geddes Foundation. This is from Mr. Dennis Beckford, who is the accounting manager of Red Stripe.
All right, thank you so much. And you can go ahead and ask Mr. Horton your question.
Okay, so Mr. Horton, you mentioned a campaign sales month. Look, my question to you is, what month are you thinking of, and why only a month period? And also, do you think that within this month period, you will be able to gather enough funds to fund your initiatives?
Mr. Horton, DeAndre, I'm not hearing or seeing you. Let's give him a couple seconds. We're dealing with technology, guys, so we have to be very patient. All right, in the meantime, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm still seeing 50 subscribers. So I'm assuming that each and every one of us who is on the live have already subscribed. Mr. Houghton, are you hearing us? Probably you can. Okay, I'm hearing you a little.
Are you seeing me as well?
I'm not seeing you, but I'm hearing you. I'm seeing you now. Go ahead. Would you like him to repeat the question?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Mullins, please repeat your question for Mr. Hahn. Thank you.
Yes, so Mr. Houghton, my question to you was, you mentioned a campaign sales month. So I'm asking, which month are you thinking of? Why only a month period? And also, do you think that this month period is enough to gather enough funds to fund your initiatives?
All right, thank you, Mr. Mullins, for that question. I like how we asked me that question. So I mentioned the establishment of the online platform for, alumni, incoming students, and students currently on the campus, for them to browse and purchase these items. So money that we garner from those sales will also be towards the campaign initiative, because with the campaign initiative, what we plan to do is set a quota for an amount of, like, say, 200, 300,000 that we need to accomplish by the end of the month. So from September, go straight to February, we will be gathering funds, to contribute towards this initiative. But the month is the target month, the set month that we would use to actually spread or to showcase that, hey, we're doing a campaign. This is the reason. This is how we're going to benefit us as students, on-hall and commuting students. But money that is garnered from the website, from the online platform, will also be towards that quota that we'll set.
Oh, just to interject there, I was asking, which month are you thinking of doing this? Okay.
Yeah.
Hello?
Was the last part of your question answered, Mr. Mullins, in terms of the date? Or do you mention?
No, that wasn't answered.
All right. Mr. Houghton, are you having technical difficulties?
No, I'm here. Okay. He said the month. I never heard like the date. But the proposed date is, it will be an ongoing campaign, as I said, from the start of February to end of February. But the money that we garner from September or from October to the ending of February, that money will go towards a quota that we will set. So the ending of February, we should reach or target the amount of money that we will use to develop the hall. Not only sales, but also donations from alumni as well.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Houghton. Mr. Mullins, there are questions in the chat for you. The first one is, will you be partnering with the chair of the Entrepreneurship Club to execute the Entrepreneurship Day? Let me repeat that. Will you be partnering with the chair of the Entrepreneurship Club to execute the Entrepreneurship Day?
Yes, this would be a very good partnership, as the day itself is Taylor Wright's Entrepreneurship Day. So it would be directly in line with my initiative.
All right, thank you. We have another question for you. What exactly will this day focus on? What exactly will this day focus on?
Okay, so this day will be a promotional day or advertising day for our Taylor Wright's entrepreneurs, being posted on the Taylor Hall's Instagram page. There will also be a seminar conducted on this day, speaking on topics of entrepreneurship, how to manage business, etc.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mullins. Before I ask you the next question, remember everyone, the election will be May 21st. Remember to listen and vote for your candidate. Next question to you, Mr. Mullins. Is the sponsorship for the entire year or just for one initiative?
For the end, well, the initiative that this sponsorship is for is a Taylor Rights Credit Assistance Program. And as mentioned, this is a program or initiative that will be run in both semesters. So it's a year-long sponsorship for one initiative.
Okay, thank you so much.
The TCAP initiative.
Okay. Why is Entrepreneurship Day only one day, and why second semester? Why is Entrepreneurship Day only one day, and why second semester?
All right, so in making the Entrepreneurship Day one day, this day will be set aside. So it would be signifying to the importance of this day. So on this day, there will be ultimate focus on our Taylorite entrepreneurs. Oh, and answering the second part of your question, why second semester? Because the second semester, it is easier to execute as the other initiatives, the financial education program, many of the seminars will be run through the first semester as the dates, which I am looking at to set these seminars will be during the first semester.
All right, thank you so much. That was my final answer to you, question to you, Mr. Mullins. We would like to thank each and everyone who took the time out to join today to listen to all of our candidates present their plans for the new academic year that will come. Oh, I'm just getting a little intel that there are more questions. In the meantime, remember, May 21st is our Taylor Hall's election, or exciting election. And remember to come out and remind the Taylorites who may not know about this date. For Mullins again, how will you sponsor other initiatives, not just for your post, but other executives' initiatives? Let me ask the question again. To Mullins, how will you sponsor other initiatives, not just for your post, but other executives' initiatives?
So I'm also in the process of seeking other sponsorship, but you have the GIL allocation fund. So there is a set amount of funding that will be allocated to Taylor Hall. And in funding these initiatives, that is where this fund will be coming from, for the most part.
All right, and our viewers, listeners, subscribers, and everybody out there wants to know, is Red Stripe sponsoring the hall? You made mention of Red Stripe, so they want a little bit of clarity on that partnership that you are, you mentioned that you have had, or yes.
Yes, so this sponsorship, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that a while ago. Could you repeat that question for me, please?
You had made mention, are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah, I'm hearing it clearly now.
Good. You had made mention of your sponsorship with Red Stripe, right? So the listeners want to know, is Red Stripe sponsoring the hall? They want a little bit of clarity on the relationship between Red Stripe and Taylor Hall for the new academic year. Can you expound on what is expected?
Well, this sponsorship will be from Red Stripe, and it will be funding Taylor Hall's. Well, all right. So if I do understand the question, you're saying that if it's a collaboration between Red Stripe and Taylor Hall, irregardless. No, it's a sponsorship that I have seek to fund my particular initiative.
Okay, so it is to fund your particular initiative.
Initiative.
Right. Thank you so much for the clarity, Mr. Mullins. I don't see any more questions rolling in. Let me wait a few minutes and see. Thank you so much, Mr. Mullins.
Yeah, thank you very much.
There are more questions rolling in, so stay tuned. Stay tuned, everyone. There are more questions rolling in. Remember, May 21st. Remember that your Tailorites are home. Not everyone is on social media. Not everyone is looking on our page. And so I would love if everyone would post on their status the date for the election. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I just got 2 more persons. Thank you so much for subscribing. And I now have the question. Can you secure sponsorship from Red Stripe from the hall? Have you given that some thought? So you had made mention that it is to sponsor your initiative, but what about partnering with Red Stripe and the hall in general? Mr. Mullins, to you.
Yeah, most definitely. That is something that I could also reach out and speak on. I've already spoken to Mr. Dennis Beckford on this particular topic, but in seeking sponsorship, it is not necessarily an easy process. And so what I'll continue to do from now on and forward, if elected treasurer, I will continue to seek more sponsorship for the hall.
Thank you so much again, Mr. Mullins. All right, so questions are rolling in, so we'll wait a bit for that. Remember, May 21st, Taylor Hall's exciting election. And I don't see any more questions rolling in. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Thank you for listening to all our candidates. You can visit our Taylor Hall page to be reminded of the names. You can reach out to our candidates. I hope candidates that your names, your Instagram page is your name so that candidates can reach out to you. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Remember, subscribe to our Taylor Hall page. Have a good evening, everyone.